Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you all today. Today's presentation is titled From Sushant to Nisha, A Life Rewritten. We'll explore an inspiring journey of transformation and resilience. Over the next few minutes, I'll guide you through the key moments and lessons from this remarkable story. So let's dive in and discover how a life can change in unexpected ways. In the previous video, we saw how Sushant started transforming into Nisha during his teenage years, and the various life circumstances that influenced this change. We discussed how he met Persh, who played a crucial role in bringing out the true woman within him. We also explored the illusion phase, where Sushant lived completely as himself and fell in love with a girl. However, destiny had other plans, and after meeting the love of his life, Brijesh, he was pulled back to his original identity, the woman he always was. Now, let's move forward and see how the story unfolds from here. Brijesh was there with her, supporting her through every step of the process. They visited various specialists, psychiatrists, endocrinologists, and gynecologists, making sure every aspect of her health was thoroughly examined. The sessions were detailed. The psychological counseling addressed issues of identity, the stress of living a dual life, and anxiety that she experienced. Hormonal evaluations were also conducted, tracking her levels of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. These tests provided vital insights into her hormonal balance and reproductive health. Ultrasounds confirmed that her female reproductive organs were dormant, yet intact. Blood tests revealed intersex variations. She had XX chromosomes with negligible Y presence. The testicles had been affected and needed to be removed. These revelations truly transformed her perspective. Internally, she and Brijesh celebrated quietly, holding each other close, whispering words of gratitude for this newfound clarity. It was a moment of acceptance and relief. When Nisha presented these findings to her family, she did so with care and honesty. Over time, their initial hesitation turned into understanding. They realized that this intervention was not just about physical health, but about saving her life and enabling her to live authentically. Her mother embraced her warmly and softly said, "You are my daughter, Nisha. Always have been, always will be." Nisha then underwent a series of treatments, hormone therapy followed by sex reassignment surgery. The surgeons made sure her dormant reproductive organs, which had been activated by hormonal surges, were connected properly to her new anatomy. This was to ensure she could, one day, have the possibility of pregnancy and childbirth. What's important to understand here is that, although Nisha's treatment was similar to what is typically provided for trans women, genetically she was always a woman. Her chromosomes told us that. Her hormones and reproductive system, once properly aligned, confirmed her true biological identity. Her belief that she never fit the textbook definition of a trans woman was actually accurate. She just didn't know it until now. It was as if the girl she thought she had lost, the girl her mother aborted back in 1982, had returned, but in a different form, with a male shell on top. It sounds complex, but in a way, it was all part of a divine plan. Everything happened in this way for reasons beyond our understanding. After this full integration, her life truly began to evolve. She stepped into a new chapter, Chapter 15, Medical Journey and Full Integration, where she embraced her identity and moved forward with confidence and hope. Let's move on to how the monthly cycles have continued and are now fully aligned, reflecting a sense of harmony and consistency. As we look deeper, the emotional landscape has expanded significantly. Joy, empathy, maternal instincts, and a range of nuanced emotions are now part of everyday life. This isn't just about physical transition. It's about an emotional transformation that touches every aspect of being. Daily life has been completely transformed too. Clothing choices, social interactions, domestic routines, and even private identity, everything is now fully integrated into this new reality. It's a holistic change that shows how life can adapt and flourish through acceptance and love. Initially, Brijesh had some hesitations, concerns about family acceptance, social perceptions, and potential medical risks. But those doubts were ultimately resolved through cosmic intervention, medical guidance, and most importantly, their love for each other. These elements came together to create a life that feels complete and harmonious. Nisha, for her part, had fully transitioned from Sushant to Nisha. She now embodies her roles as a future wife, mother, partner, and future daughter-in-law. Her love for Brijesh, guided by cosmic forces and supported by family acceptance, became the anchor that grounded her. This journey proves that destiny, courage, and love can truly converge to fulfill our deepest desires. Now, life for Nisha is changing drastically. There's so much more to come. Keep reading to see what happens next in her story. After undergoing medical intervention and fully accepting her true identity, Nisha began living completely as a woman. Every morning, her routine felt like a quiet celebration of her authentic self. Standing in front of the mirror, she would take her time dressing, carefully adjusting her hair, putting on her bangles and earrings. She looked at herself not with curiosity anymore, but with recognition, seeing the person she always knew herself to be. At work, her transition was more subtle but equally meaningful. She didn't need to make a loud announcement. Her actions and demeanor naturally conveyed her femininity. Her voice, her expressions, her grace, all aligned seamlessly. And the people around her responded with respect and warmth, often recognizing her femininity without words, with an unspoken acknowledgement. But perhaps the most profound transformation happened at home. Nisha embraced her role as a daughter wholeheartedly, helping her mother in the kitchen, organizing the house, preparing tea, managing daily routines. These weren't just chores for her, they became deeply fulfilling experiences. Her mother would often pause and observe her, perhaps with quiet acceptance, seeing her fully living her truth. This chapter is about living fully as oneself, and for Nisha, it's a beautiful reminder that acceptance, whether from others or ourselves, opens the door to genuine fulfillment and authentic living. Nisha, the way you do everything, it feels like you've lived this life before. Nisha smiled softly at this, a gentle expression that spoke of deep understanding. Ma then responded, maybe I always carried it within me, hinting at an inner strength or intuition that she had always felt, but perhaps couldn't quite put into words. There was a long silence, a pause that allowed the emotions to settle and the moment to grow deeper. Her mother's eyes filled slightly, showing a mix of pride and perhaps a touch of sadness or longing. She shared her feelings openly. I raised you as Sushant. I had dreams, expectations, a different future in mind. But today, I don't feel I lost anything, she said, revealing a powerful shift in her perspective, accepting what is and embracing the present. She held Nisha's face gently, a tender gesture that signifies her love and acceptance. I feel like I finally see you, she added, emphasizing that this moment brought clarity and a new understanding between them. Nisha hugged her mother tightly, symbolizing reconciliation, connection, and mutual love. You never lost me, Ma. I just found myself, Nisha reassures her, highlighting her personal journey of self-discovery and authenticity. Naina then added her usual lightness, saying, good. Now I finally have a proper sister at home. Earlier you were useless, she joked, bringing humor into the moment and lightening the emotional weight. The house filled with laughter, but beneath that, there was something deeper, the underlying themes of acceptance, identity, and the joy of genuine connection. This chapter, Living Fully as Nisha, encapsulates the core idea that embracing who we are allows us to truly live, to find fulfillment, and to rebuild relationships on authentic foundations. With Brijesh, life became calmer, deeper, and more real. They met often, long drives, quiet dinners, evenings filled with conversations that flowed effortlessly. Sometimes they spoke endlessly, sometimes they sat in silence that felt complete. One evening, sitting close, Brijesh said, you know what's special about you, Nisha? She looked at him gently. You don't try to be anything, you just are, she smiled. With you, I don't need to try. Their relationship evolved naturally. Holding hands turned into lingering touches. Conversations turned into emotional openness. Presence turned into belonging. Sometimes she stayed over at his place. Those mornings were intimate in the simplest ways, making tea together, walking around the house, sharing breakfast. Brijesh teasingly called her Mrs. Joshi, and she lowered her eyes, smiling softly, replying, not yet. he said, soon. This scene really highlights how their connection grew organically, rooted in genuine acceptance and comfort. It shows us how love that is real doesn't have to be rushed or forced. It simply unfolds naturally, creating a sense of belonging that feels like destiny. Let me take you through how Brijesh's relationship with her family evolved. It all started quite casually, just him spending time with them, helping her mother, and sitting comfortably during meals. Over time, his presence became more natural, more accepted. I want to highlight that this gradual integration was crucial. They didn't rush it. One evening, her mother quietly said, "He doesn't feel like an outsider," and Nisha smiled, knowing deep down that he wouldn't. Nisha's response was simple but meaningful. "He won't be." Then Naina, her sister, teasingly asked, "So when do I officially call him Jijaji?" Nisha didn't answer aloud, but her smile said everything. It showed her acceptance and happiness. At the same time, she was preparing herself for her new life in Gujarat. Her neighbor from Ahmedabad took a real interest in helping her get ready. She emphasized that since Nisha was going there as a daughter-in-law, she needed to know everything about their customs and traditions. So, she taught her how to drape a Gujarati sari, explained the rituals and cultural nuances, introduced her to the language basics, and shared important traditions. Nisha practiced every day, standing in front of the mirror dressed in her Gujarati sari. And something profound happened during those moments. She felt that this wasn't entirely new to her. Instead, it felt familiar, like a memory she was reconnecting with. This process was about more than just learning customs. It was about embracing her new identity, blending into her future family, and feeling rooted in her culture. As marriage discussions became more serious, I felt something inside me settle. My ambitions in the corporate world started to fade away, not because I was under pressure, but because I found a new sense of fulfillment. I realized that while I once chased success, what I truly desired was a different kind of success. This sense of completeness that came with building a life with someone I love. My days now focused on learning home responsibilities, preparing myself for marriage, spending quality time with my mother, and building a future with Brijesh. My mother began helping me prepare emotionally, reminding me that marriage is not just about love, but about patience, adjustment, and strength. I remember telling her, "I'm ready, Ma. I don't feel confused anymore." It was a moment of clarity, of acceptance, and of readiness to fully embrace this new chapter. This brings us to chapter 19, choosing her life fully, where I made the conscious decision to step into this new phase with confidence and purpose. The pre-wedding phase truly began like a dream, full of movement, vibrant colors, deep emotions, and a sense of something very personal unfolding. It was a time when every shopping trip, even the long days spent choosing outfits and accessories, never felt tiring or burdensome. Instead, it was an experience filled with anticipation and joy. I remember Nisha standing in front of the mirror, trying on different saris, lehengas, and jewelry. Watching her reflection transform into that of a bride was a powerful moment, each outfit shaping her into the person she was about to become. I asked her, "Ma, how is this one?" Holding up a beautiful deep red lehenga. It's such a small question, but it carried so much emotion. Her mother didn't answer right away, she just looked, pausing a little too long. Then she softly said, "I had imagined choosing sherwanis for you once, preparing my son for his wedding." Her voice trembled slightly, revealing the mix of emotions she was feeling. But then she added, "Today, seeing you like this, I feel something else." There was a pause, and then she stepped closer and simply said, "Peace." It was a moment of quiet understanding between them. Nisha held her mother's hand tightly, conveying support and reassurance. She responded, "Ma, this is who I always was. Maybe we just didn't know how to see it then." Her mother nodded, wiping her tears quietly, acknowledging the unspoken truth and the journey they had gone through. This chapter of our story, engagement, preparations, and the wedding, really highlights how destiny can be rewritten through understanding, acceptance, and love. It's about embracing who we are, even when it's different from what we expected, and recognizing that these moments are what truly shape our shared future. The engagement ceremony marks a beautiful and emotional milestone in our journey. On this special day, the atmosphere was filled with warmth and anticipation. Nisha looked stunning in her richly embroidered red lehenga, symbolizing tradition and celebration. Her gold jewelry complemented her look perfectly, and jasmine flowers in her hair added a touch of elegance and grace. As she entered the venue, Brijesh's gaze was fixed on her. Everything else seemed to fade away in that moment. When she sat beside him, he whispered, "You're unreal," expressing his awe and love. Nisha responded softly, "And I'm yours," reaffirming their bond. The ring exchange was a heartfelt moment. Nisha's mother gently placed her hand into Brijesh, symbolizing her blessing and acceptance. She spoke with pride, saying, "I once thought I would give away my son's bride, but today I give my daughter, and I do it with pride." It was a touching gesture, emphasizing the significance of family and the transfer of love and responsibility. Nisha's eyes welled up with emotion, and she softly said, "Ma." It was a moment of deep connection and gratitude. The rings were exchanged, sealing their commitment, and the applause that followed celebrated this beautiful union. Yet, amidst all the celebration, Nisha felt a sense of quiet centeredness. Everything felt just right. This engagement wasn't just a ceremony. It was a step towards a new chapter, a destiny being rewritten with love, hope, and family support. Let's talk about the Mehendi ceremony first. It was truly a burst of color, laughter, and playful teasing. The intricate designs were beautifully crafted on Nisha's hands and feet, each pattern telling a story of love and new beginnings. I remember Naina teasing her, saying, "Hide his name well, let him struggle." It was such a fun moment that showed the warmth and joy of the occasion. Nisha's eyes sparkled with happiness, and the entire atmosphere was filled with music, relatives dancing, and endless conversations flowing around us. It was a celebration of love and togetherness. Now moving on to the Sangeet night. It was vibrant and lively, lights, music, and performances all around. But what stood out the most was when Nisha and Brijesh danced together. It wasn't just a performance, it was a pure moment of connection between them. No choreography, just their bond on display. At one point, Brijesh leaned closer and said, "Next time we dance, it will be as husband and wife." Nisha looked at him softly, smiling, and replied, "I've already accepted that." That moment perfectly encapsulated the journey ahead, celebrating their love, their future together, and how they're rewriting their destiny. Today, we arrive at the wedding day, a moment filled with quiet anticipation beneath the festive celebration. Nisha sits peacefully, dressed in a beautiful red Gujarati saree, her gold jewelry carefully placed, jasmine woven into her hair. She looks at herself in the mirror, not with surprise, but with a sense of completion. It's a powerful moment. Her reflection symbolizes her acceptance, her truth. She quietly whispers to herself, "From Sushant to this is my truth." This line captures her journey, her transformation, and the courage to embrace her identity. Her mother enters the scene, trying to stay composed but visibly moved. She comments softly, "You look exactly how you were meant to." It's a heartfelt acknowledgement of her daughter's authenticity. Nisha then stands and embraces her mother tightly, reaffirming their bond. She reassures her mother, "I was always yours, Ma," just like this. It's a moment of unspoken understanding and love that transcends words. Her mother whispers back, "I know, now I know," signifying her acceptance and the deepening of their connection. As we shift to the mandap, Brijesh stands waiting, a symbol of the new chapter ahead. When their eyes meet, everything feels right, peaceful, and certain. This moment signifies the culmination of a journey towards truth, love, and destiny, a chapter rewritten with courage and authenticity. Now let's reflect on the beautiful moment of Kanyadan. Her mother gently held her hand and placed it into Brijesh's, symbolizing her giving her daughter's hand in marriage. She whispered, "This child has lived many lives to reach here. Take care of her." Brijesh nodded confidently and replied, "I will, always." This exchange is not just about the ritual, but about the deep trust and love being passed on. Next, we come to the Firas. As they walked around the sacred fire, each step became more meaningful, representing their journey together. Brijesh quietly whispered, "Every step, together," emphasizing the unity and shared path they are committing to. Nisha responded simply, always, reaffirming her promise and the strength of their bond. Finally, the moment of Sindoor and Mangalsutra. When Brijesh applied Sindoor and tied the Mangalsutra, Nisha experienced a profound emotional shift. It's more than just a ritual. It signifies her new identity, her sense of belonging, and the completion of her transformation into a married woman. This chapter marks a significant milestone, where their engagement, preparations, and wedding become a beautifully rewritten chapter of their destiny. That night, Nisha entered the room quietly, dressed as a bride, her heart calm yet full. There was no fear, no hesitation, only a deep sense of presence. Brijesh approached her gently, and in that moment he said, "No more searching. You're home." This night was more than just a physical union. It was an emotional surrender, acceptance, and true union of their souls. For the first time, Nisha felt completely aligned, her body, her identity, and her soul all coming together in harmony. The next morning, she visited Brijesh's family temple as a daughter-in-law. She performed the rituals naturally, with grace and confidence, because she truly belonged there now. Later, she took Brijesh to her family temple in Goa. Standing there, she softly said, "I may not be allowed fully anymore, but this is still a part of me." Brijesh gently held her hand and reassured her, "You don't need permission to belong." They stood there together, quietly offering prayers, symbolizing a new chapter of acceptance, belonging, and shared spiritual connection. Welcome to slide 16, where I want to take you through our unforgettable Maldives honeymoon experience. The Maldives greeted us with a sense of silence, beauty, and space that instantly made us feel at peace. Imagine white sand beaches stretching endlessly, crystal-clear blue waters, and open skies above, truly a paradise. During the day, Nisha wore flowing dresses that caught the breeze beautifully, perfect for relaxing by the water. For dinners, she chose light sarees that added a touch of elegance, and when we went into the ocean, her swimwear made her feel free and comfortable. Our days were filled with simple yet unforgettable activities: long beach walks, snorkeling to explore vibrant marine life, boat rides that took us across calm waters, and plenty of laughter that made every moment special. As the sun set, the evenings slowed down, and we savored candlelight dinners, engaging in deep conversations that brought us even closer, and sharing gentle moments of intimacy that bonded us more deeply. One night under the vast starry sky, Nisha looked at me and softly said, "Everything I ever wanted is here." I smiled back, feeling the warmth of those words. I responded, "And it's just the beginning." I could see her looking at the ocean, feeling everything settle within her, every worry, every doubt melting away in that beautiful moment. She quietly reflected, every struggle, every confusion, every moment was leading me here. That evening encapsulated so much of what this journey meant. Coming home to ourselves and each other, finally finding our peace. Wow, Nisha is finally married, and that too to a man. Yes, a man as a biological woman. It's hard to imagine, but no one could have guessed this was possible when she was born and raised as Sushant, a boy. This truly feels like a dream coming true in real life. So what's next? Nisha's deepest desire wasn't just to become a woman or a wife. It was to become a mother, a biological mother. To conceive, get pregnant, deliver a baby, and nurture that child. And now, after her marriage with Brijesh, especially with the advances in medical technology, that possibility is within reach. So, what's next for her journey? That's what we're going to explore.